Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Tech 2 manufacturing and taking a look at a couple of profitable items that you could build right now. So in the previous video I did on Tech 2 manufacturing, the items that I looked at the time back then were not profitable, and I did get asked the question of whether Tech 2 invention manufacturing was actually worth it. And at the time I don't think I really answered the question, whether it was in the comments or actually in the video itself. So I thought I would do this video to showcase some profitable items and just to reiterate that yes, Tech 2 invention can be very profitable. However, to have a good amount of flexibility you do need quite a lot of skill points in science in order to be able to flick around the different items, because different items generally require different racial skills or science skills, etc. And as you can see here, I am still missing some of them aren't all to level 4. You don't need to get them to level 4. Obviously level 5 will give you a better chance of invention, but I've found that level 4 is generally adequate. So anyway, recently I have been embarking on a few little adventures, and one of them again is getting back into some Tech 2 manufacturing. And as you can see here, we have the Tech 2 sensor booster, or the BPC for it, from what I have been producing. And I get asked the question a little bit of where do I do my manufacturing, etc. And it does vary. For some of the Tech 2 stuff, especially the actual production of the Tech 2 items, I often do it in Jitter because it saves the hauling and it saves a lot of messing around. I can get the items right here, right now, and if I'm only doing say 100, 200, then it's not really worth it. If I'm doing batches of 1,000 to 2,000, then yes, I will probably take it off to my other system that I generally do larger construction or manufacturing in. As I say, although I do play a little bit of a premium to use the Jitter system, it is generally a lot less hassle for smaller general construction. So here we are, we have a Tech 2 sensor booster BPC, 10 runs, and I always start with the one run and I always check to see how much it's going to cost me. So to buy all the components off the Jitter market is going to cost me 843,000 ISK, and it's going to cost me 50,000 to install, so we're going to round that off to 900,000. Then we're going to check to see how much they are selling for, and as you can see here, at the moment they are selling for 1.388 million ISK a pop. So equate for taxes, etc., and any kind of miscellaneous cost of changing the sell orders, etc., then you're probably looking at about 350,000 ISK per unit. The Jitter station produces slightly slower than elsewhere, so it will take me 46 minutes to produce one. So I can produce one every... I can produce 1.3 units per hour, and that will give us a rough amount of ISK of 450,000 ISK per hour per slot. Now, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you have to start buying items from sell orders or producing them yourself in order to make the item profitable, it's not profitable to produce it. Just bear that in mind. So, again, I haven't produced any of these items myself and I'll be buying them straight off the market, but the point is, it's profitable to do that. Now again, if I'm having to buy items in order to make it profitable, then it's not profitable. So there we go, I've got 11 slots, I need 11 times the amount, so 94.6 million ISK, and there we go. And now it's just a matter of installing all of the sensor boosters in order to get going. Now, I don't advocate that you all run out and start manufacturing Tech 2 sensor boosters because the market is currently dropping and there has been a bit of a surge. However, the general gist still stands that it's a great way of making ISK even before there was a bit of an uptake in the market on Tech 2 sensor boosters. It was still quite profitable. So for all you people currently shouting at the screen that I have not included Invention Cost, you are absolutely right. So, how to include Invention Cost. Now for the Tech 2 sensor booster here, in order to produce a 10 run copy, we will need 2 of the electromagnetic physics data cores and the electronic engineering data cores. Now we have a 47% chance of success. That can be got up to 49, but obviously mine isn't that high. And in order to buy the data cores right now will cost us 390,000 ISK. I'm not going to bother with the installation cost because it's such a small amount. So 390,000 ISK, 390,000 times 2. Now I'm timesing it by 2 because there's a 50% chance I'll fail. So there's a 50 on average, I will need double the amount. So that equals 780,000 ISK. Divided that by 10 because that is the cost per actual unit. So for every one sensor booster I produce, the invention cost has cost me 78,000 ISK. However, to make this a little easier, I'm going to round that up to 80,000 ISK, so we will take the installation costs into account. So 80,000 ISK. We worked out that we were making 350,000 minus 80,000 means I'm making 270,000 ISK per item. So 270,000 ISK, I'm producing 10 at a time and I have 11 of them running, so 29 million ISK times 2 that I can produce in a day. You could potentially produce 3, but at 7 to 8 hours it's pushing it slightly. So again, we'll go with 2, so that's making me 60 million ISK every day for producing them from the slots that I have. So I think that's a very reasonable amount of this, 60 million ISK a day for a couple of clicky clicks here, there and everywhere. Not even moving out of jitter in order to produce them. Obviously you've got the invention that I would do next door in perimeter, but as I say, the manufacturing, as you saw there, was straight into jitter and it is still profitable. So we're going to take a look at another item. Now, one of the items that I'm sure you've been seeing popping up here continuously, which has been annoying me somewhat, but it's always nice to get sales, is the multi-spectral shield hardener Tech 2. Now, I found something out the other day that I didn't know, and if you have the wallet up and the market, you can take the item, drop it into there, and it will bring up all the sales or buys, etc. that you have for that item on the market. Now, I didn't know that. Again, every day is a school day. So as you can see here, we have 926 item sales. Now these do include multiple sales, so it's hard to know, but the point is that basically I've been buying and selling quite a lot of multi-spectral shield hardeners. How much I've actually made from that is anyone's guess. I'm not going to bother to go through it, but the question was, I'm obviously making quite a decent amount of ISK from it, or a reasonable amount of ISK. So the question is it worth producing them from Invention? And the nice thing is CCP now gives you all the tools in order to be able to do this relatively easily. So as I said, we are in jitter at the moment, which makes life a little easier. So if we take the blueprint, put it into your industry slot, drag over the copy, pretend to invent it, drag over the invention, and there you go. You have it now in your inventory, your manufacturing area, as a Tech 2 BPC with 2 and 4%. So if we go to the buy like we did for the sensor boosters, as you can see here, it's going to cost us 2 million in order to produce it. So there we go. We have a installation cost of 91,000. So we'll round that down to 90,000. So we have an actual overall production cost of 2,100,000. So as it currently stands, we are selling at 2.38 million ISK. It's going to cost us 2.1 to produce. Minus tax, you're looking at about 180,000 ISK. Obviously, there are an awful lot of these sold every day, so there is a good market for these. So again, it's a decent amount of ISK. It's 180,000 ISK, which, yeah, it's not to be snivelled at. There are better out there, but again, it still works out quite nicely. And again, we're going to look at one more before we've done. That is the medium shield extender. So, same principle. Pretend to make a copy, pull the copy over, pretend to invent, pull the invention over, and let's do the same process again. So these will currently cost you 474,000 to install. You're probably looking at about just under 50,000, but we'll round it up to 500,000 ISK. 500,000 ISK, not including the actual invention itself. 5, 6, 7, 8, so we've got 280,000 there, minus 70, well minus 80,000 for the invention, giving us 200,000, minus tax, so you're looking again about 180 to 190,000 ISK. So if we look at the history, there's 2,000 sold a day, and we are on a slight increase, so nothing particularly out of the ordinary there. Again, probably getting back to the level average. So again, medium shield extenders used on a lot of PvP fits are always in high demand. So another good item to be looking into there. So as I said, with Invention, the thing that you need to remember is obviously prices change, and it's very, very handy to be able to flip between different items, because one item doesn't always stay profitable. Although there may be ISK to be made there, it's not going to be as good as you could find elsewhere, which is why initially I don't recommend really focusing on just building one Tech 2 item. It's handy to have it spread around. And obviously the general price of an item can change and fluctuate due to numerous reasons. The demand for the item could be up or down, which will obviously affect the general price. The components prices for the items could be in high demand or low demand, again affecting the price, and the general market of where it sits at the time, whether there's an oversupply, etc., again can affect the price. So for instance, at the moment with the sensor boosters, I'm imagining there is going to be a bit of a drop, and if we look at the market history, you see that over the last couple of days there has been a few spikes in the amount of sensor boosters that have been purchased. And although the price was going up, whether these people are just speculating, hoping the price is going to go up, or whether it's anything to do with WWB at the moment, or there's been an unusual amount of activity in sensor booster 2s. So I imagine there's quite a lot of people starting to jump on the bandwagon here, which again sooner or later will tank the price of sensor boosters due to the oversupply that is about to come. It's just a bit of an odd coincidence that I was already building sensor booster Tech 2s when that change happened. But the point is that again, it's worth keeping an eye on the markets as well as the invention costs, etc., and not just blindly producing one item and one item only because that's the item that you've decided that you want to be a producer of. If you really want to make money within the game, then you have to follow the markets. Again, blindly producing an item that is unprofitable isn't going to lead to good outcomes. As I said, I was listening to somebody last night talking about something completely polar opposite, and again, it's like, well, I play the game for fun, and therefore the cost in that doesn't matter to me. And again, I do understand that, and I do get that, but I don't desperately go out my way to make as much ISK per hour as possible. As long as I'm making a reasonable amount, I don't necessarily care. So if my wallet is going up and the items that I'm producing are selling for more than I'm making, then generally I'm happy. Again, I could use numerous sites from the internet to help me find the most profitable, but the point is, if you have access to that and you can see the most profitable, then every other person that uses that site has the exact same information and will again be chasing them exact items. So it's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily use third-party sites, and that I do get a bit of a kick from finding these all on my own. Now, the mining or producing the items yourself to build an item that you are going to use, then yes, I fully understand that. However, if you are building it to sell it, then again, by building the items yourself and not including them in the overall cost, you're not making as much, or potentially you are losing ISK by doing it. And whether you enjoy it or not, it just boggles my mind why you would do that when, again, it's just as easy just to sell it straight onto the market, etc. Now, obviously, combining the item does have its advantages, etc. But if you are losing money by doing it, then you just seem to be hitting your head against a wall, personally. But hey, everybody to their own. So I hope that's been interesting. I hope that's helped somewhat, and again, it's kind of helped with the is Take-Two actually profitable? And the overall answer to that is yes. Yes, it is. But you will have to be selective about the items that you are building or choosing to build. You can't just randomly build stuff and expect it to be profitable. You have to put a bit of research in. You have to do a little bit of clickety-click to find a profitable item and then go for it. But yes, there is definitely profit to be made in Take-Two Invention. So if you've made it this far into the video and you haven't subscribed, then please do think about it. Just past 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, each and every one of you that has helped so far. We have the StrangeNet channel in game. If you want to pop in, ask any questions, or if you have any comments, etc., then please feel free to post them on the video. I do try and answer as many questions as possible. And with that, fly safe. Thank you for watching.